Hey everyone. Hello from Mailchimp headquarters in Atlanta. Thanks for joining our webinar, Getting Started with Mailchimp, How to Set Up Templates and Campaigns. I'm Kayla, and I'm on the Strategic Services team here at Mailchimp. Our team offers a variety of customer education offerings, like this webinar, instructor-led trainings, and one-to-one customer coaching. I'm joined here by my teammate Nicole, who's going to let you know a little bit more about what's coming up.
Hey everyone, let's take a look at the path of our learning journey. We'll come back to this slide throughout the webinar to show you how far we've progressed and what's coming up. In this tutorial, we'll start by walking you through a few slides to get you familiar with key terminology around templates and campaigns. Then we'll head into the app, where we'll first introduce you to our Content Studio, a tool for storing your images and files in Mailchimp.
Then we'll walk you through the types of templates that you can set up in Mailchimp. We'll go step by step through the creation of a template using our drag and drop editor. Next, we'll walk you through how to take your branded template and quickly and easily turn it into an email campaign. While we'll mostly focus on email, we'll wrap up this webinar by showing you a variety of other marketing campaign options that you can set up in Mailchimp.
If you are in need of technical assistance at any point, we recommend navigating to our website at mailchimp.com/help. This is where you can find our guides and tutorials, which is a free help center for all customers to access.
So with all of that being said, let's take a look at our learning journey. Here, you'll see we're going to start with those key terms to know. When you design an email campaign in Mailchimp, you'll begin with the template. Templates are preset layouts that you use to build an email campaign. Your template should include elements that you want to carry over and reuse again, including recognizable elements of your unique brand, like your logo or a footer with your brand's social icons, which helps to maintain consistency across your messages.
There's a type of email you're sending on a regular basis, like, say, a monthly newsletter with important updates. We recommend you create and save a template. Whenever you want to send out a newsletter, you'll simply select the template you created and add in your new content.
We know that you're busy. Templates help you save a ton of time and effort so that you can focus on what matters, connecting with your audience and growing your business.
Next up, what is a campaign? A campaign is any content that's created, distributed, and measured through Mailchimp. These campaigns are a way to share marketing content with your audience, whether it's a monthly newsletter or an upcoming sale. Most people think of campaigns and immediately think of email, but campaigns also include recurring email series called automations, landing pages, ads, and more.
Before we move on, let's talk about the difference between templates and campaigns. A template is a framework to be filled in, while a campaign is the end result that you share out to your audience. We're going to show you what this looks like visually.
On this slide, you can see a template we've chosen for a newsletter. As you can see, there are spaces to add content and upload photos. So now we'll show you how to edit the template to turn it into a campaign. And you can see that right here.
As you can see, all of the unique monthly content for the newsletter has been filled in. So next month, we could start with the same template and upload our new photos and text to keep the look and feel of these campaigns staying consistent.
Now that we know the difference between templates and campaigns, we want to cover a few additional items to know when setting up campaigns in Mailchimp. Your audience is a place for you to collect and manage your contacts. In Mailchimp, a contact is someone whose email is stored in your audience. And a contact's email marketing status determines what kind of content you can share with them.
So let's dive into these statuses a little bit more. Statuses for contacts can include subscribed, unsubscribed, non-subscribed, cleaned, and archived. A subscribed contact is one that's opted in to receive marketing, while an unsubscribed contact has opted out of receiving marketing. Someone who's non-subscribed is a contact who has interacted with your business but hasn't opted in to receive marketing. For example, they may have purchased something from your store, but they didn't sign up for your newsletter. A clean contact has a non-deliverable email address. You may know of these addresses as those that have hard bounced or repeatedly soft bounced. And lastly, archive contacts are ones removed from your audience. They don't count towards billing, but their data is retained in your account.
So let's take a moment to go over some key takeaways to remember from all of these terms. First, Mailchimp is an all-in-one platform that helps you share emails, ads, and other messages with your audience of contacts.
We call these messages campaigns. So just remember, campaigns can be emails, postcards, automated messages, and so much more.
The people whose information you store in Mailchimp are known as contacts. Contacts can have different status types. These statuses determine which campaigns are eligible to receive and whether they count towards your plan's monthly contact limit.
We'll be creating a template as well as using that template to send out a regular email campaign a little bit later in this webinar. It's important to note in Mailchimp that regular email marketing can only be sent to your subscribed contacts who have given permission to be marketed to.
Now, let's revisit our learning journey. We laid some groundwork around definitions, and now we'll move on to our Content Studio before diving into types of templates and how you can create one in Mailchimp. We're going to head into the app to do this. To add in content to your templates, you'll use a tool called the Content Studio. It makes it easy to organize your files, images, documents, and product images so you can easily add them into your campaigns. When you log into your account, the first thing you're going to see is your audience page. To access the Content Studio, we'll first click in to the brand drop down here, and then select templates. You'll see past templates that we've created right here.
If you have a new Mailchimp account or haven't created a template yet, this area will be blank in your own account. Once you've started setting up templates, this page is where you can find an existing template that you want to work with or create a new one.
On this page, you'll see the Create Template button here and the Content Studio button right next to it. You can also access the Content Studio by clicking Brand again in our top navigation menu bar, and then Content Studio from the drop-down.
So here we have the Content Studio. In this top right-hand corner, you'll see Upload. You can upload many types of files, including PDFs, which are usually pamphlets or other printed materials, JPEGs, which are typically image files, or MP3s, an audio file. Or you can select the drop-down here to import a file from a URL. So let's say that you find a stock photo online that you've obtained permission to use. If you've copied the URL of that image file, you can then paste that here and use the image in a campaign.
Now let's talk about those tabs that you see over on the left-hand side. First, My Files. This area contains your images, documents, and files that you've uploaded to the Content Studio. Later on in the webinar, we'll be able to access all of these images to then insert into a template or campaign. Next, Products. You sell items online and have connected your online store, Mailchimp will pull in those product images here.
Now, just as a heads up, if you don't have an e-commerce site connected to Mailchimp currently, you won't see any product images right here. So just be aware of that if you aren't seeing any on your own Content Studio.
So let's move on to Giphy. If you're looking for a fun way to share an announcement or sale, animated GIFs are a great way to add some more vibrance to your campaigns. And here you'll see a searchable Giphy library where you can find the GIF that best suits your needs.
For example, if we search Mailchimp, as we will right now, we'll be able to pull in results of many awesome GIFs our own social team has created, as you can see right here. Now, let's click into Instagram. If you've connected your Facebook page and Instagram account in Mailchimp, you'll be able to pull in images from your account directly into the Content Studio and then easily add them into a campaign.
And last up, My Logo, where you can set a default logo. The image you choose will appear anywhere you have a logo placeholder in templates and campaigns. In order to set this logo, you would head back to the My Files tab and select your default logo from your library of images right there. So up next on our learning journey, we're going to walk through the basics of building a template together in the app, as you can see here. We're going to leave the Content Studio and jump into designing a template. We can do this by clicking Brand in our top menu bar and then selecting Templates. Once we're here, we'll then select the Create Template button in the top right-hand corner of the page.
Just as a heads up, depending on your pricing plan, you may not be able to access all of the templates we're about to cover. If you're seeing something a little bit different in your own account than what we're showing right here, that could be why.
Let's talk through the template options we're seeing. The first option you see in the Layouts tab is for featured templates. A featured template is a great choice when you know what you need your email to do, but you aren't sure about how to design it.
Whether you're promoting a new product, sending a survey, or making a special announcement, we recommend a feature template if you're starting out or you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed designing a template from scratch.
Let's go ahead and select a featured template. Say we want to promote some of our products we're launching, we'd choose the Sell Products option. These templates use our drag and drop editor, so they're mobile responsive and allow you to easily change the look of your email campaign to suit your needs.
This template tells you exactly what content to include in order to get your message across. You'll just choose the right content blocks for it. Now, content blocks are elements of an email like images, text, and buttons that you can drag and drop into your campaign and then customize. When you use Mailchimp's drag and drop editor, you'll see all of these content block options on the right-hand side of the screen.
Keep in mind that we'll be walking through setting up a template from scratch in just a moment, where we'll show you how to use these content blocks to create your templates. We're going to click back to our template options page and scroll down to basic templates. Basic templates are a blank template layout that you can add your own content into. These templates give you endless possibilities as they're really a blank slate that can be fully customized.
You can see that there are two template styles available in the Basic tab. There's regular and then there's full width. The difference, as you can see, is that full width takes up more visual space within the email. There are also several different types of basic template options, depending on your preferred width and number of columns. All of these icons are a visual representation of how the template is laid out.
For example, if you're trying to keep things simple with a few images and text that can be read one after the other when scrolling down, a one-column template would work well.
Or if you're planning to organize your email in columns and showcase images and text side by side, a layout with more columns like the 1-2 or 1-3 might work best in that case. Again, these are just suggestions, and it's really up to you to choose a template that you like the best.
We'll be creating a basic template together in just a moment, but before we do, let's go over the other options available to you. Let's select Themes from the tabs across the top of this page.
These pre-designed themes offer a number of categories to choose from, like newsletters, e-commerce, holidays, sports, and events.
These templates are similar to featured templates in that they show you what to include. Instead of just including blank content blocks, these templates have actual examples of content already in place.
So for example, if we click into this sale announcement template right here, we'll select it and let it load. Now you can see the header image is already provided, and then that there are several content blocks already with styling, such as this shop sale button right here, and then this follow us on Instagram section down here at the bottom.
Although theme templates also utilize our drag and drop editor, they were created by designers with specific elements in mind, so some editing options may not always be available. We're going to see the last option we have, which is code your own templates. If you or a member of your team is savvy with hand coding emails, code your own templates are your best option for full-on customization.
Okay, so now that we've covered the types of templates that Mailchimp offers, let's go ahead and create one together.
We'll select Layouts in the menu and scroll back down to Basic Templates, and I'd like to select the one column template option. So now that we've chosen it, it's time to design our template.
What you're seeing right now is the editor that we pointed out just a little bit ago. As a reminder, our template design here is on the left, and you can see all of these different content blocks we have to choose from right here on the right. As you can also see, there's some placeholder text, as well as our default logo, which we set in the Content Studio.
You can drag and drop a variety of content blocks into your layout, rearrange them to customize the look and feel, or delete them if they're not working for you.
So watch, let's go ahead and hover over a content block in the editor here on the left. We're going to select the arrow icon that appears in the top left-hand corner of that block, like so. And then we will just move it to another place.
So this is how you move your content blocks around. And we're going to move on and talk about some of these content block options we see here on the right-hand side of the screen.
You'll notice that we have a few different image options. These include blocks for image, image group, image card, and image and text. So let's go ahead and select image, and then drag and drop the block into the template like so.
You can then select the Browse button to add images that have already been uploaded to the Content Studio. If you don't have the image you want in your Content Studio yet, just remember you can always import new images at any time.
So here we are in the Content Studio, and I'm going to select this image right here, and then click Insert to add it into the template.
Now that the image has been added, we can easily resize it. You can use this image display slider to find the right size for your image. Give us just a moment. Now, when you're working with a content block, in this case an image, you're going to see editing options on the right-hand side of your screen. And at the top, there are options you can toggle between. So if you select Style, you can see that we can add a border to the image. So we could take a moment to do that. And with settings, you have some options around image alignment, like centering the image. Now, depending on the type of content block, the Style and Settings menu will show different options. So if you're liking what you see, let's just hit Save and Close to move on.
But we're not done yet. If we want to play around with this image some more, we can just click on the photo to relaunch the image content block. You'll notice that we have some options below the image file name here. As you saw a moment ago, if this image isn't the right one, you can select Replace to choose another. Or perhaps you want your photo to link to a certain page on your site. You can add that URL here by selecting Link. And if you want to do some more advanced editing, you saw this a moment ago, but you can select Edit here to launch the photo editor, which will look just like this.
If you want to crop, resize, flip, or rotate your image, you can do all of that here. Just note that if you'd like to crop the image, you'll see a checkbox at the bottom left to lock dimensions. Click to uncheck that box if you'd like to be able to resize only the height or only the width of the image, instead of resizing the whole image at once, which is the default. And choosing the next icon below resizing and cropping, you can also choose from more than 60 different image filters. There are several more editing options available in this menu to really help make your image pop, so find the ones that work for you and go ahead and be sure to apply those changes.
All right, once you've made all your edits, just go ahead and select Save. We'll replace the image in your template with the new edited version, just like that. Let's move on to talk about text. On the right-hand side of the screen, you will see that we also have some text block options. If we save and close out of this, such as the regular text block or box text. This template already has a text block, as you can see here on the left with all the sample text. So let's go ahead and click into that. Now, if you write your copy outside of Mailchimp and then copy and paste in that text, styling can get a little lost in translation. This means that changes you made to the text, like bolding or italicizing, for example, may not always show up. To make sure all of your styling is applied correctly, your best bet is to work directly in our editor.
Just to give a little more context, each time you create content in a text editor like Microsoft Word or Google Docs, hidden code is added to your document to make it look nice on screen. If you then paste that content into a new email campaign, the hidden formatting can change the way your email looks in Mailchimp and in email inboxes.
It's always a best practice to work directly in our text editor. However, we understand that sometimes copying and pasting external text may be necessary.
So if you do need to copy and paste from an outside source, we recommend using this Paste from Rich Text Editor tool to help get your content into Mailchimp. This tool removes code that often interferes with how your text displays. After the old formatting is removed, you can apply new text styles in each block. We know it's very small. Just remember it's to the immediate left of the Clear Styles button.
Now, if content has already been added to your template and you didn't use the Paste as Rich Text option, or if content doesn't update when you apply styling to your text, what you can do is highlight your text and then click Clear Styles here and try again.
All right, so here we're going to type in some text to the template to make it a little more individual to our specific campaign. All right, and we'll make a few quick editing changes here. Add some styles. And when everything feels good to go, be sure to hit save and close. Now, we want to keep working on customizing this template, and maybe we want to add a divider to help break up the campaign a bit. We can do that by dragging and dropping the divider block just like so. Now, when designing a template, there are a couple of places you can set the style and settings for the overall template.
You can set styles like a specific font and background color that will persist throughout the entire email, or you can set styles just for certain sections of your template, like your header and your footer. To do this, you'll select the Style menu right here, and then select the sections that you want to work with. So from these various sections, as seen here. Or you can select an individual content block, as we did with our text block previously.
So we're going to go ahead and add a button to our template. So we're going to click back over to the blocks in this menu. And the button content block creates a button in your campaign that can link to a web page or file to download. They're a great way to call out a particular link in your campaign that you want recipients to click, such as to RSVP for an event or to visit your online store. In our case, we want to link our subscribers to our seasonal sale page. So we're going to go ahead and say something like shop now in the button. And then down below that, we'll edit the URL to point to our page. I'm going to take a moment to do that. In this Style tab, we can also change the button color and set other styling options. So we're going to go ahead and make those changes. Looking good. So lastly, let's talk about these social options seen here at the bottom of the template. If you click on the social options, you can see here to the right, you have the option to link your Twitter, Facebook, or other social networks so that your audience can easily find you online. Now that the template's done, we're going to preview and test out our template. As different email programs can display your content differently, we do recommend you do this before you send.
Preview mode can give you an idea of how your template will look in your recipients' inboxes on both desktop and mobile. To enter preview mode from the designer, let's go ahead and click the Preview and Test drop-down menu, and then choose the Enter Preview Mode tab right here. You can use these tabs here to look at different views. The Desktop tab will show the desktop preview of your template, and the Mobile tab will show the mobile preview. And finally, you'll see Inbox. Before you send, you can use Inbox Preview to see how your campaign will appear in different email clients and on various devices to help avoid unpleasant surprises. Now let's go ahead and click out of preview mode by selecting the X right here. And then we're going to select the Preview and Test dropdown again, but this time we'll choose Send a Test Email.
This allows you to send a test template directly to your inbox to see how it'll appear in more of a live setting. Just type the email address you want to send the test to and get it on out.
Now let's go ahead and click out of this. And once you have everything looking just right, you'll want to select Save and Exit in the bottom right-hand corner. We'll go ahead and name our template. In our case, we'll call this Seasonal Sale. So let's type that in. And then we'll save it. Awesome. Once we're back on our templates page, you'll now see it right there.
So we're all done with this template now, and you can leave it there to use later. We're going to jump back for just a moment to our learning journey. We're now going to show you how to set up an email campaign using a template you've created. If you're curious about other campaign types that Mailchimp offers, we'll also dive into that at the end of the webinar. As we mentioned earlier, having your template on hand makes it easy to then create branded campaigns when you're ready to send out marketing content to your audience. But maybe you want to send out an email campaign using this template right away. So let's do that.
We're already in the templates area of our account. Here's the template that we just worked on at the top. We'll just go ahead and select the drop-down menu at the far right, and from that drop-down, let's choose Create Campaign.
This will take you to the campaign builder with your chosen template already populated in the content section. To make changes to the template, for example, adding in content specific to a sale for an email you're sending out, you would select Edit Design to launch the design editor. Let's take a step back and walk through all of the different elements of the campaign builder that you see here, and then we'll jump into the design editor together.
Our campaign builder is designed to let you work on different parts of your campaign in the order that you choose, and then review everything at once before you send. It's like a checklist for your campaign. As you can see, this campaign builder takes you step by step through a checklist to add recipients, choose your settings, and design your content. As each task is completed, a green checkmark will appear next to the corresponding section.
So we'll start by selecting our audience or who you'd like your campaign to be sent to. In the To section, click Add Recipients. In the Audience drop-down menu, we'll choose the audience we want to send to. In this case, we're going to select our retail customers audience. In the Segment drop-down menu, we have some different options. We can choose All Subscribers in Audience, or Group or New Segment, or one of the available saved or pre-built options. Let's go ahead and select Group or Segment to create our own segment. We want to target subscribers who have opened any of our last 5-cent campaigns to let them know about our upcoming sale. In choosing this segment, we know that these subscribers have been interacting with at least one of our most recent emails, so we want to reward them by including them in that sale. Let's select Campaign Activity, and then Opened in any of the last 5 campaigns. This next part is optional, but you can also check to personalize the To field box to display the recipient's name instead of their email address. After you check the box, you can choose a merge tag that corresponds with the information you want to display in the To field. For example, if you chose F-name, a recipient named Bob will see To Bob instead of To Bob at Mailchimp.com.
Or in our cases, it would show Hi Nicole or Hi Kayla.
Yeah, this is a great way to make an email more personal and may help you avoid spam filters.
Once everything is all set up with the audience that you'd like to send your campaign to, just go ahead and save it to move on to that next step.
So next, let's set your from name and from email address.
Now this will automatically populate with the from information that you set up in each of your audience's defaults. For example, our default is sending from the Poddit Planner at webinars@freddymail.com. To edit or change this information for each campaign, you can simply click Edit From and then enter your new from name and email address. For our purposes, we want to instead send this from Nicole at the Poddit Planner, just to help personalize our from name a little bit more. So we'll just type that in. And once that's done, we'll just click Save to move on. To set your subject line and optional preview text, we'll click Add Subject in the subject field, right there. In the subject field, we'll enter a subject line for our email.
We're going to add in, we're having a monstera of a sale. And we're also going to put an emoji of a plant here too. Our emoji picker is a fun and easy way to add some visual pizzazz to your subject lines, particularly on mobile devices. Different operating systems render different versions of emojis, so it's important to always test them before you send. In the preview text field, you can enter up to 150 characters that will display next to your subject line in recipients' inboxes. We're going to say something like, take 15% off your purchase. Just a note, this field is optional. Once this is completed, you'll hit save.
Now, to design the content for your campaign, we'll want to click Edit right here. As a reminder, our template design will already be populated in the design editor. Now we can use the template as a foundation and start adding in our own content specific to this campaign that we want to send out.
For example, we'll change our sale text to reflect the 15% off for this sale. And we're going to want to update the links to our sale page, like so. Okay, everything's looking good to go. As a reminder, it's always important to test before you send out messages to your subscribers. So let's enter preview mode from the designer by clicking the preview dropdown and choosing enter preview mode. You can use the tabs here to look at those different views like we saw previously in the template builder. And on the right side of the screen, the header info here displays campaign information like the subject line and reply to email address for reference. If you're using merge tags to personalize your email and want to see how they'll look to your contacts, simply toggle this slider to the green check mark to enable live merge tags and then scroll through your contacts to see how they will appear for each
subscriber. Now let's go ahead and click out of preview mode by selecting the X right here. Just like you could with templates, you'll notice that you can also send yourself a test email to your inbox from that same preview dropdown. Let's go ahead and click out and we'll select continue at the top right to take us back to our campaign checklist.
Underneath our checklist, you'll see an option to add a social post to your campaign. This is an easy way to share the content from your campaign with your social followers on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Before we send, we also want to take a look at our settings and tracking section at the very bottom right here. When you create a regular email campaign, we enable certain tracking options by default. This includes opens and click tracking, as well as e-commerce tracking if you have a connected online store. To edit the tracking options for your campaign in the settings and tracking section, you would just click edit and then check the boxes next to the tracking sections that you either want to enable or disable. Now just be sure to hit save. And it's time to send that email out.
You can send right away or schedule the email to send later. Select schedule to find a day and time in the future to send it out. That menu looks like this. There are also some options in this window for scheduling and sending campaigns, and these options are usually recommended for more international or high volume senders. In our case, we're ready to send now. So let's click send. In the prepare for launch module, we'll select send now to confirm. Once you see this high five from Freddie, you'll know your campaign has been sent out into the world. So now that we've sent a campaign, we're going to revisit our learning journey again to discuss other campaign types. Remember, as we mentioned earlier, Mailchimp is more than just email, and campaigns are any distributed content that's created and measured in Mailchimp. We'll head back into the app to show you where you can get started with setting up other types of campaigns. You can start to create a campaign from a couple different places in your account. Here, in the top navigation menu, if you select Create, you'll see a drop-down of campaign options. Or you can select the Create Campaign button here in the upper right-hand corner of the page. Keep in mind, we also have an Automate tab in our navigation menu. If you click on the Automate drop-down, you'll see an option to create a few of our other automated types of campaigns, including automated emails, ads, and postcards.
So let's go ahead and click Create Campaign over here on the right. Once you click, you'll see this list of campaign options to choose from. Just as a note, if you have a new or free account, your access to our different campaign types and functionality may be a little limited depending on your plan. The first option that you see here is email. Let's go ahead and click in, and you'll see a few different types of email campaigns.
The first is a regular campaign. It's the most common type of email campaign that people send with Mailchimp, and the type we just walked through together.
Next up, there are what we call automated emails or automations. Different marketing platforms use different terminology, and you may have heard of automated emails called drip or triggered emails before. While a regular email campaign sends to your contacts at the time that you choose, with an automation campaign, emails are sent automatically to specific contacts as they meet your trigger and your sending criteria.
Have you ever signed up for a newsletter for a brand you're interested in hearing from and then received a welcome email shortly afterwards? That's a perfect example of an automation at work.
We have automation workflows for subscriber activity, like an email that sends to subscribers thanking them for signing up through your pop-up form, or for e-commerce, is where you can set up abandoned cart emails or order notifications. You'll just choose an automation type, create an email or a series of emails, and set your sending criteria. After you set up an automation, Mailchimp will manage your queue and your email sends so that your emails get to the right people at the right time.
Next up, we have plain text emails, which contain only text and have no additional formatting options. Plain text emails don't contain any images, rich text formatting, or embedded hyperlinks, and they're useful when you want to send a simple email featuring only your essential content.
And lastly, right here, we have multivariate campaigns, which are also known as A/B testing campaigns. Multivariate campaigns allow you to test different versions of a single campaign to see how small changes can have a real big impact on your results. Just choose what you want to test, like the subject line or the content, and compare results to find out what works and what doesn't.
So next up, we're going to talk about ads. We make it easy to create ads to drive more visibility to your brand. It's all in Mailchimp, so you can create, buy, and track results of your ads in one familiar place. We have a couple of different types of ad campaigns to choose from. With our Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns, you can create beautiful single image or carousel ads. Or you can use Google remarketing ads to help you recapture the attention of people who browse your website or landing page. Our next campaign type is landing pages. Marketers typically use landing pages to achieve specific short-term goals. For example, you could create a landing page to promote a limited time offer or sell a specific product.
Sometimes people seem to be a little bit confused about why you would use a landing page instead of linking people directly to your website. Websites usually have a lot of other things to look at, and sometimes all of that content can get distracting. By creating a landing page for your product, you can send people directly to the content that you want them to see. All right, let's click back. And next up, we have postcards. A postcard campaign can help you stand out from the crowd and gives people something tangible to remember you by. And if you're wondering, yes, they are physical postcards, like you would receive in the mail. Postcards reinforce the messages that you sent through emails, ads, and elsewhere, which makes them a smart addition to your multi-channel marketing strategy. You can set up one-time or recurring postcards right here. Or if you have a connected e-commerce store, you can also set up postcards to send out after a customer abandons their cart.
Let's click back to see another feature we offer, social posting. You can create and share social posts on Facebook and Instagram right from within Mailchimp. You can pull in images that you've uploaded to your content studio and then repurpose them to post on social. Lastly, by clicking back once more, you'll see a campaign option for sign-up forms. This is where you can create and launch pop-up and embedded forms on your site right through Mailchimp. So, you've set up a template and sent out a regular email campaign in Mailchimp. Nice job. Now what? Well, now you can think about creating an automated email to help greet your new subscribers. You can welcome them with a discount or help them get to know your brand story over a series of 2 to 3 emails.
Automating your emails can help you save time and allow you to focus your attention on growing your business. Which takes us to our next point. Take a look at your reports and make sure to analyze the data that you see. After you send a campaign, your reports can help you understand the best times to send, as well as what subject lines and content your audience is responding best to.
After you send an email campaign, you may want to share your content with people who aren't necessarily in your audience yet, like friends, other members of your team, or visitors to your website. A great way to share is on your social channels using our social share feature. If you do share your campaign on social, be sure to add your sign up form as well to help drive new subscribers to your audience.
And finally, always be sure to test, test, and test. We do say this a lot, but it's important to remember. Before you send, test with proofing your content and sending your campaign to test volunteers, like other members of your team. After you send, see how that campaign performed, and then make changes going forward. Think about A/B testing with subject lines and send times. The more that you test, the more that you get to know your audience and what they respond the best to.
So let's revisit everything we learned once more. We covered key definitions on templates and campaigns before we headed into the app to explore the Content Studio and create a template together. We then use our templates to set up an email campaign.
We finished up this webinar by walking through the other types of campaigns available to you to set up in our all-in-one marketing platform. Awesome job, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. And from here in Atlanta, Nicole and I just want to say, have
Have
a
a
great
great
day,
day, y'all.
y'all.